It's always been a goal of mine to make a movie for the IMAX screen about whales, about humpbacks.
I'm Dr. Fred Sharp with the Alaska Whale Foundation. I'm a principal investigator, and I've been studying these magnificent animals in Southeast Alaska for over a quarter century.
Whenever we start out on a movie like this, we're starting from scratch. I didn't know a lot about humpback whales to begin with, so we turned to scientists. And the scientists have been wonderful. They've been a part of this team throughout the process.
I was very fortunate, and I was approached, almost a decade now ago by McGillivray-Freeman Films, and they have a wonderful reputation in the industry. I was very pleased to be able to work with them as a scientific advisor in Alaska. One of the things that really attracted me to these whales in Alaska is their large bubble net feeding behavior. You'll get as many as a dozen, sometimes even 24 whales feeding together in these bubble nets, coming up together in sort of a team-like activity. And the film does a really good job of capturing and celebrating this team hunting activity. There's certain whales that were featured, melancholy and vulture, two of my favorite animals. They've been working together for decades in this feeding activity. It's very sophisticated. One whale will blow a bubble net, essentially a communal bubble net that the entire pod will feed in. They all come rocketing up together in this beautifully choreographed feeding behavior, and the humpback whale film captures that so well. It's almost like you're in the bubble net with the whales, bigger than life.
I was about 2 feet away from the mom. I couldn't believe that I was able to get that close. And I was filming, and I really felt like I had this connection with this amazing animal, and she was completely comfortable with me and our crew being with her. It was almost like we were being able to peek into her world, and it was profound. It was incredible, and at the same time, I knew we were getting the best footage possible, and I knew that audiences would have the same type of impact that I would.
Most of the scenes were actually filmed underwater, actually with real live whales and the real big ecosystem out there. All that one bubble netting sequence, though, where they're diving down and pulling that beautiful curtain of air and rising up together, that was all done on a computer hard drive. Most of the whales that you'll see in this production, they are filmed in Hawaii and Tonga. The water's clear there in the reproductive when they're breeding and singing. It's a lot easier to approach them. The animals have swam really far to get to these wintering areas. They're not feeding. They spend a lot of time just kind of hanging out. They're a lot easier to approach. There's some beautiful stuff that was also obtained up in Alaska. There they tend to be much more businesslike. They're hungry, they got things to do, and you'll see this incredible feeding activity.